Okay guys, so Jermaine here. I thought I'd been hoping to do this kind of video for a long time. Wanted to show you guys what I use on a daily basis, the different things I'd recommend you guys use, different bits and pieces of equipment. You can see my trusty mouse. It's a G700S rechargeable mouse. Battery life is pretty decent, lasts me about 2 days. I've actually got a rechargeable set of batteries, 4 batteries that I use, so I never run out. And as you can see at the back, there's the USB port that plugs straight into this guy as well. Really like it. Got the buttons on the side. These buttons are great. It allows me to, set up macros, and I do a lot of web design stuff as well, so I've set up one of these buttons to refresh the page and the usual back and forth, and then I've got a close button as well so that I can close apps really fast. These are all the DPI settings, and obviously all these are programmable. The best part of this mouse is this button here that enables and disables infinity scroll, I think it's called. So now, as you can hear, it's a normal mouse, just scrolls and doesn't, have infinity scroll. And then you click that button again, and as you can hear, it just spins forever. So this mouse has this special coating that I think Logitech calls, well, hydrophobic, I think it is. Basically it's designed so that it repels sweat and things from your hand. I found that it works pretty well. It's part of Logitech's whole Science Wins kind of movement, where they've used science in their devices. This is not the only Logitech product that I have, as you will find out. I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that. I'm just a huge fan of Logitech's products, and I love how they all work together using one dedicated app, so I don't have to download a different app for a Razer product or whatever. I just use all the products are configured through the same piece of software. Now over here you see the remote for my surround sound system. So I've hooked up a surround sound system in the room just because I want really immersive audio, especially when I'm gaming and listening to music. I love it. So it's plugged into my computer through HDMI, and the huge benefit is that I get true surround sound. So gaming, playing Far Cry 4 and stuff like that's awesome. I hear every detail, and it's very easy when you're trying to play Titanfall and trying to keep track of everyone around you, because you can hear their footsteps around you and really place the opposition, so that's really good. And then over here you see my Xperia Z3 in front of my snapback. I just upgraded it to Lollipop. It wasn't officially released in Australia yet, but I upgraded using I think it's the Nordic or the Baltic firmware. It's going pretty good so far. I love Sony products. I love the phone, love the fact that it's nice and waterproof. I just use it in the rain and things like that, and it's never given me any trouble at all. I love the front facing speakers, better sound, and I used to have a Galaxy S4, got over the plastic, the metal and the glass is just awesome. Okay, and now checking out the monitor. I used to have 2 monitors. One was an IPS color corrected panel by LG that I used. It was only a 27-inch. I used it next to this 28-inch, but I got rid of it because I just didn't feel the need for it anymore. And my plan is to upgrade to a ultra widescreen LG. It'll just be a matter of time, because at the moment I'm using this Samsung 4K 28-inch display. It's great for multitasking. I can run a few windows on the same screen, really unrivaled. The only problem is that it's a TN panel, so color reproduction isn't great, but it is awesome for gaming because of the low 1 millisecond response rate and response time. So I love this screen. I just wouldn't recommend it for a professional because it's really difficult to tell what the colors are, and 4K panels are still adjusting into the market. Windows is still really horrible when it comes to scaling, so some things can look really off and just horrible. But I love the monitor. Like I said, I'm going to probably replace it with an ultra wide LG IPS display. Now, looking closer, you can see the G710 Plus, which is my keyboard. It's a mechanical keyboard. I love it. Nothing much to say. Nice backlighting, just a white, simple backlight. I don't really have any plans to change this till it breaks. It's just I think the best in the market at the moment. You know, not taking into account all the RGB enabled keyboards, but that's more of a gimmick for me at the moment, so I'm not too concerned. Back here you can see my rig, which is a Plantronics RIG. It's a headset that I bought about a year ago. It's got a microphone. You can plug it into a mobile, and there's a bit of a mixer there, so you can use, the idea is that you can use a mobile and talk when you want to answer calls, and flick a switch and you can swap back to PC sound, and you can mix the two in if you want to and things like that, which is pretty cool. Over here you see my Subaru BRZ 2015 key fob for my car that I got a couple months ago, and you see an old school USB. That's a 128 gig USB, bought back in 2004 I think by my dad. There's a rechargeable battery charger for my mouse. There's my Casio Edifice watch, which I love. That's a bit of a more of a kind of a professional kind of watch. I wear the watch when I go to meetings and stuff like that, and it's pretty cool. Got a thermometer in there, so it can tell me my body temperature and tide graph and all that. I'm a bit of a watch lover, so I've got another G-Shock and a few other Casios, and I love Casios. So next to it you see that black USB, which is 32 gig USB 3 USB by SanDisk, I believe. It's awesome. It served me well. I carry it around everywhere I go. As soon as I leave the house, I've got that with me, because you never know when someone needs a big USB. Behind that, you can see, there we go, there is my hard drive. It's a 2TB Seagate that's plugged in using USB 3. You'll find out why I need an external hard drive shortly. Moving over, there's my PS3 controller. It's not plugged into my monitor anymore, because I use the PS3 with the TV just in the next room. But yeah, I mean, I use the PS3 for casual gaming, so not much I can say there. Just a bit of FIFA, and yeah, that's really it actually. There next to it you can see my card reader and 2 more hard drives. Nothing much to say. I just need hard drives and have a fair bit to store, kind of archiving kind of stuff as well. And behind it you can see my Nexus 7 tablet. I absolutely love the tablet. Been using, well, got the Nexus 7 2012 version when it came out, and then sold it and got this guy. Love it. I use it to read all my subscriptions to magazines and things like that, so no real complaints. Still got updated to the latest version of Android, which is Lollipop 5.1. So it's running Lollipop 5.0 at the moment, and it's great. It's, you know, no complaints for how much it cost. Now, behind it you can see my NZXT H440 case PC. It's liquid cooled using an NZXT X61, I think, Kraken. It's awesome because it's running the X99 platform, so it's running a 6-core CPU with 16 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM, GTX 970, and a 1500 watt power supply, which is hidden behind this shroud, which I'm going to light up, which is a really cool thing that's included in this case. So NZXT hardwires a lighting setup, so you can turn it on and off, and as you can see, the back IO lights up and turns off as well. Yeah, and the reason that I have all those hard drives that I mentioned before is because of that guy there. You can't really see him, but it's it's a 500 gig SSD that I run my whole operating system and the whole computer off. It's just a decision I made when I was building a new computer because it's faster, and like I said, I don't have a lot of huge files that I need to access that'll fill up that brings up a necessary, well, the necessity for a hard drive. So now here you can see my go-to gear when I'm on the road. These are the Soul Republic Master Tracks. Love these headphones. Can't recommend them enough. Got them from JB Hi-Fi a while ago, about a year and a half, and they've survived since, traveling overseas and all that stuff. And over here you see the new Alienware 13, which is my laptop on the go. I used to have a Vio Pro 13. The Vio Pro just wasn't powerful enough, so I got this guy. It's served me well so far. Pretty awesome. You know, it costs a fair bit for the power and the lack of a proper CPU, but you get good battery life instead, so no complaints there. Maybe I can do a bit of a review into it later on. And obviously I hate trackpads, like a lot of graphic designers and people who need real control, especially when you're gaming as well, which you can do on this guy because he's got a discrete GPU, and I've got a 256 gig SSD in there, and I'm planning to upgrade to another MSAT. We'll chuck another MSATA SSD in there, which will give me even more space to add more games. And I use a Logitech mouse with this guy, which is a wide mouse. I'm kind of contemplating upgrading to a wireless mouse, but there's no real need at the moment. I love this guy. No complaints at all. The only complaint, if I could have one, is that the braided cable started coming apart. So I mean, I guess it's my fault because I just chuck it in a bag and don't really care too much about it. So I don't know who to blame there, but if it could be improved, well, Logitech, improve it and I'll buy the next one, because I love braided cables. They look great, they feel great, and they're, you know, nice and flexible. So the only problem is that, yeah, it falls apart like that. What else can I say? I've got a SteelSeries hard a mouse pad for when I'm on the go, and when I'm on a couch and things like that, I can just use this without worrying about the surface being uneven. The mouse tracks great on this surface. What else? There's my printer. This guy's great multifunction. Got a document feeder when I need to feed in, you know, big contracts and things like that. Just take the staple out and just feed him in, and he scans through, and nice and easy when I need to sign things and send it through. Great printer so far. No complaints. Next to it is the subwoofer for my home theater system that I've got wired up. That little black box next to the subwoofer is the wireless rear speakers, which I use as side speakers because you can configure them on Windows. So they're not rear speakers, they're side speakers. Just because of the design and the layout, I can't really use them as rear speakers without, you know, them getting in the way. That's the little head unit, I guess, for the home theater system, so that controls everything. I don't really have to do much. It just turns on and off with the computer because I've set it up that way. And there's the mouse pad that I use on my desktop, which is another hard mouse surface. There's something going on between the mouse and mouse surface at the moment. I'm not sure if the mouse pad is wearing out or the mouse feet are wearing out. I know that's a problem with the G700S. It wears out a bit fast because it's kind of Teflon feet, but something that I've got to look into the future. What else can I say? Nothing much else. Can say hi to my fish. This is one of the fish tanks that I have in this office. So I've got 2 neon tetras, a corridora, a loach, and a fighter fish. I've got another tank which is much bigger than this tank that's got a few more fish in there.